Yo, do you have runner's knee? Like your knees are just absolutely killing you when you run? If that's you, you'll want to check this out. What's up guys? It's Dr. Peter here from Motion RX. Today, we're going to be talking about what's one of the fastest ways that you can decrease pain at the knees when running. This is one of the very few times quick fixes actually exist, so listen up. So the number one thing that you want to do right now to instantly decrease pain at the knees if you're running is going to be by increasing your running cadence by about 5%. If that's all you needed to hear, you're welcome. But if you're kind of confused, like what the hell is cadence? What is he talking about and why? I got you. So first off, let's actually define what cadence actually is. Your run cadence, or also referred to as stride rate or step rate, is gonna be the total number of steps you take per minute as you run. So you can calculate your current cadence in a few different ways. You can start a clock and count how many times your right foot hits the ground in a minute. You take that number and you multiply it by 2. If you counted 80 steps on your right foot in 1 minute, then your run cadence is going to be around 160. So if you're really good at counting high numbers, this method is going to be for you. Finally, the easiest way to see what your run cadence is going to be by simply checking your wearables. And so if you have some sort of wearable device that you can simply take a look at your run metrics, an Apple Watch, a Garmin, a Polar, or any other smartwatch will tell you what your run cadence is at when you're running. The next question people ask is, what is the best cadence that I should actually be at? The truth is, there's no ideal cadence. Some people might tell you that 175 to 185 is where you want to be, but in reality, that's just not true. Shorter runners will naturally have a higher cadence because they have shorter legs, which in turn will naturally result in a higher cadence. Taller runners, on the other hand, will have longer legs and strides and will naturally have a bit of a lower cadence on the other hand. And so as you can see, there really is no ideal cadence, as so much of it will really depend on your height, your weight, your stride length, your speed, your fatigue levels, and many more. And so if you're not dealing with pain, there really is no need to change or alter your current running cadence at all. However, if you are dealing with knee pain while running, simply increasing your current cadence by 5% can lead to an instant decrease in your pain with running loads. Cadence is a fantastic tool that we can manipulate to redistribute running forces through our bodies while running. And so by increasing our cadence, we can redistribute some running forces away from the knee, a little bit more to the hips and the ankles. So we still have the same amount of load going through our bodies, but instead of so much of it being concentrated towards the knee, when we increase our cadence, we can actually redistribute some of these loads more to our hips and ankles and away from the knee. There's a really cool research article out there that shows simply increasing your current cadence by 5% can lead to a 20% decrease in loading at the knees. How the hell do we actually increase our cadence? When we increase our cadence, your speed does not increase. So let me repeat that again. When you're increasing your cadence by about 5%, your speed does not increase along with that. Say you're running a 9-minute mile at 165 steps per minute. Increasing 5% of 165 would bring you to a new cadence of 173. Now you're still running at that 9-minute mile, but your cadence is now 173. Your speed doesn't change at all. When trying this out initially, I would actually recommend you test it out on a treadmill instead of doing it outside on the road. The reason is, if we were to go outside and you try to increase your cadence, you might actually go faster as well too. And so if we're initially trying to learn how can we actually increase our cadence without increasing our speed, what I would actually recommend is getting a metronome through an app on your phone and getting a treadmill that you can actually hop on. So when we use a treadmill, the speed is going to be fixed. So it'll be a lot easier for us to actually see, hey, what it feels like to have a higher cadence without increasing the speed as well too. Okay, so if we take the example of what we used before of, say, our normal cadence was around 165, we want to increase it to 173, which is about 5% more than 165. I'm going to set my metronome to about 173, and then from there, I'm going to hop on the treadmill, okay? And what you want to do is, I want you to intentionally pick a speed that you can actually speed walk at, okay? So it's going to go, and I want you to intentionally go at the speed that you can walk at so that you can actually see that no matter what the pace is, you'll actually be able to run with a new higher cadence. So I've got the metronome set here to 173, got this walking pace, right? And then I'm just gonna play the metronome. So it's set to 173 now. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here. What you wanna do is you actually wanna start running at that speed. All right, and so I'm running at this very, very low walking speed, but my feet is actually able to go up a little bit higher, turning my feet over a little bit more so that it matches the 173. It's gonna feel super weird at first. You're almost gonna feel like you're shuffling your feet, but that's the whole point. Okay, so once you're there and you kind of get it for a couple seconds, you can go ahead and increase it a little bit more. Okay, so now I've increased it to about a 5. I'm still maintaining the 173 cadence. As you go a little bit faster, it's gonna feel a little bit more normal. But the whole point is that you should be able to keep this cadence at, whether it's a 8-minute mile or even like a 14-minute mile as well too. And so the speed can vary, but your cadence can stay exactly the same. So the reason why we may not want to actually try this outside is because if you're running at your normal pace and I tell you, hey, increase your cadence by about 5% more and go a little bit faster, you might actually increase the speed of which you're actually going at instead of going at the same pace, but just picking your feet up a little bit more for a faster cadence. So when you increase your cadence, the speed remains exactly the same. Like I said before, if you are dealing with knee pain when you run, maybe it's only when you run faster than a certain pace or when you run longer than a certain time on feet. Regardless of if your current cadence is around 150 or a 195 steps per minute, if you simply increase it by about 5%, that should make your knees feel a lot better. Anyways, I hope that kickstarts you in the right direction. If you thought this video was helpful, share it with another runner who may be dealing with knee pain. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video.